Good morning, students. I am Dr. Monica Khetarpal. I am Associate Professor of Physics in Government Dungar College, Bikaner. I welcome you all in this enlightening session of Classical Mechanics, which is first paper of MSc Previous Physics. Today, we will discuss about Poisson bracket. Let us consider that we have two variables and I am denoting these two variables by x and y. Then we will define the Poisson bracket of these two variables by, we denote the Poisson bracket by square bracket, and inside this square bracket we have to write x comma y. And since we are writing in terms of old coordinates which are denoted by small q and small p. So I am writing here Poisson bracket of xy in old set of coordinate small q and small p. Poisson bracket of xy is defined as summation over j, derivative of x with respect to qj, derivative of y with respect to pj minus del x upon del pj into del y upon del qj. This is the basic definition of Poisson bracket. Now, what are the fundamental or basic Poisson bracket properties? Poisson bracket of qi and qj is 0. We will prove this. I am writing the Poisson bracket of qi and qj. Opening the Poisson bracket according to definition, I get summation k partial derivative of qi with qk, partial derivative of qj with pk minus qi with pk and derivative of qj with qk. Since we know that q and p, they are independent. So in the first term this is 0 and in the second term derivative qi with pk is 0. Therefore, Poisson bracket of qi and qj is 0. Similarly, we can show that Poisson bracket of pi and pj is 0. Now, the another fundamental property of Poisson bracket is that Poisson bracket of qi and pj, this equal Kronecker delta function del ij. In order to show this, I am opening my Poisson bracket summation over k. I am taking indices k because I have already used the indices I and j. Partial derivative of qi with respect to qk, partial derivative of pj with respect to pk minus derivative of qi with pk and then multiplied by pj with respect to qk. Now here there is a differential of p with q which is 0 because both are independent. Now in the first term I have derivative of qi with respect to qk which is equal to delta ik, and this term this is equal to delta jk. So coupling both these terms I will get it to be equal to delta ij. Delta ij is 0 if I is not equal to j and it is equal to 1 if I equal to j. These are the fundamental Poisson bracket properties. Now I am going to discuss some other properties. Poisson bracket of x and y. Poisson bracket do not follow the commutative law. If we interchange x and y, then we get a negative sign. That means Poisson bracket of x and y is equal to minus the Poisson bracket of y and x. Another property is that If both the variables are same, that means we have Poisson bracket of x and x, then it will be 0. We can check these by opening the Poisson bracket easily. Now I am finding the Poisson bracket of x and the another variable is y plus z. And we will show that it comes out to be Poisson bracket of xy plus Poisson bracket of x and z. This can be done by opening the Poisson bracket. By opening the Poisson bracket, I get derivative of x with qj, derivative of y plus z with pj, minus x derivative of x with pj, and then there is a derivative of y plus z with qj. Opening the bracket term, separating it into two terms, similarly separating it into two terms and collecting the terms so that they make a Poisson bracket. I get x y plus z Poisson bracket to be equal to Poisson bracket of x and y plus Poisson bracket of x and z. The another property which I am going to derive is the Poisson bracket of x with yz. We'll show that this comes out to be y Poisson bracket of xz plus Poisson bracket of xy and z is outside. This can be done by opening the Poisson bracket, which is denoted by square brackets. Opening the Poisson bracket and simplifying, I will get the property which is desired. Now, in our previous lectures, we have discussed the transformation which is canonical by two methods. The two methods were exact differential condition and bilinear invariant condition. These two methods show that we have an old set of coordinate denoted by small qp, and when we are converting this old set to new set which is denoted by capital QP, we have derived that transformation is canonical. Now the third approach is by using Poisson bracket. That means we are changing from old set to new set of coordinate, and in which condition the transformation is canonical. To prove that the given set of problem is canonical, we have to show that Poisson bracket of coordinate QQ or Poisson bracket of momenta PP, this is equal to 0, and Poisson bracket of QP, this is equal to 1. That means we have to derive the fundamental or basic property of Poisson bracket in order to show that the given transformation is canonical. This will be more clear through the example. I have to show that transformation small q, which is given under root 2p sin q, small p equals under root 2p cos q, this is canonical. From these two expressions, I can find the value of tan q. Dividing the expressions, I get tan q to be equal to small q upon small p. And squaring and adding this, I can get the value of capital P. Capital P comes out to be half q square plus p square. Now, I have to verify the condition for canonical. The condition 1 is satisfied in this problem. Now I have to show this condition that Poisson bracket of capital Q and capital P equal 1. That means I have to show that derivative of q with respect to small q multiplied by derivative of capital P with small p minus derivative of capital Q with respect to small p, derivative of capital P with respect to small q, this is equal to 1. So I am finding these derivatives. First of all, I am differentiating my capital Q term, that is tan q equal to small q upon small p with respect to small q. So I get differential of tan q as sec square q del capital Q upon del small q, and differentiating the left hand side with respect to small q, I will get it to be 1 upon p. So from this I have obtained the value of del capital Q upon small q. Similarly, differentiating this term with respect to small p. This term is sec square q, derivative of q with respect to small p, and in this small q will be constant and derivative of 1 upon p will be minus 1 upon p square. So I get the value of del capital Q upon del small p. Now from this expression I can get the value of del capital P upon del small q and del capital P upon del small p. So putting them in the Poisson bracket condition and solving, taking cos square q common, I get 1 plus small q square upon p square. And we know that in the problem we are given that small q upon small p is tan capital Q. So instead of small q upon small p, I am writing it tan q. So this equation will become cos square capital Q into 1 plus tan square q, and 1 plus tan square q is sec square q. Using the trigonometric identity, I get my Poisson bracket to be equal to 1. This shows that the given transformation is canonical. Now I am moving over to the next problem. The next problem is, for what value of m and n do the transformation presents a canonical transformation? The equation which I am given is capital Q equal to small q raised to the power m cos np and capital P equal to small q raised to the power m sin np. Since the transformation is given canonical, it is already given in the problem. That means Poisson bracket of QP is given to me to be equal to 1. Opening the Poisson bracket by definition, del capital Q upon del small q, del capital P upon del small p minus del capital Q upon del small p, del capital P upon small q. Differentiating q with respect to small q, I will get m q m minus 1 cos np. Similarly, differentiating q with respect to small p, I get minus q raised to power m n sin np. And differentiating capital P with respect to q and p and substituting them in the condition of Poisson bracket for canonical transformation. This is equal to 1. Now I am simplifying it. On simplification, I get m multiplied by n q raised to power 2m minus 1 cos square np minus mn q raised to power 2m minus 1 sin square np. This is equal to 1. Now, since coefficient of q must be same in both sides, taking it to be common, mnq 2m raised to power minus n to be common, and equating the coefficient of q on both sides to be equal. Here the coefficient of q is 2m minus 1, and on the left side the coefficient of q is 0. So 2m minus 1 must be equal to 0. From this expression I will get m to be equal to half. Now I have find out the value of m, the remaining is n. So substituting m to be equal to half, that means n by 2, and this is putting m to be half, q raised to power 0, this must be equal to n. So solving this I will get my value of n, which is equal to 2. So in today's lecture we have discussed Poisson bracket and how we can obtain the condition for canonical transformation using Poisson bracket. The definition of Poisson bracket is the Poisson bracket of xy will be equal to summation over j partial derivative of x with qj multiplied by partial derivative of y with pj minus, now there will be partial derivative of x with pj. Earlier there was derivative of x with qj. Derivatives are interchanged in both equation, in both terms. This multiplied by derivative of y with qj. So this is the definition of Poisson bracket, and in order to prove that transformation is canonical or not, we have to show that Poisson bracket of q with q is 0, p with p is 0, and Poisson bracket of q with p is equal to delta function. That means we have to show that Poisson bracket of q and capital P, this must be equal to 1. Thank you students for watching.